Tokyo Revengers, a series that seemed to get a lot of love and support, and everyone's telling everyone to watch it, to a series that everyone decided that it was not worth the hype and it's garbage. But in this video, I wanted to talk about Tokyo Revengers and give you my personal thoughts on the series. Because at first, it wasn't really that memorable to me because I don't even remember watching the full season of season 1 until I realized after watching it, I already added to my anime list. So here, in this video, I'm going to give you guys my general opinion on Tokyo Revengers, if it's an anime that you will choose to watch and an anime you might not want to watch. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, put a notification on just to be notified when I put out videos. I'm trying to put out one video a week. I'm going to try to. And let's get on to the video. So Tokyo Revengers follows our main character named Takemichi. While watching TV, he discovers on the news that his ex-girlfriend named Hinata was tragically killed in a car accident. After that incident, Takemichi is pushed on the rails and he's seamlessly transported 12 years in the past. And the only way for him to go back in time if he shakes Naoto's hand, the brother of his ex-girlfriend, and they tried to stop her death multiple times, but it seems that every time they come to a conclusion, something else happens that is equally as bad. And for this series, it's going to be hard for you to get behind Takemichi if you don't like the whiny type characters who cry a lot. And I personally don't care about these characters. I feel like if you have a character that's just like a shonen protagonist who's just like cool all the time, I don't think you can relate to it as much. And that's just my personal opinion. I feel like the crying character could be used as a really good motivator for certain people. And I get people want to see cool characters and feel like I could be this character, but it's like there could be some cool characters that cry. Like you act like Goku has never cried before. Everyone has cried, and I get that. And I was going to defend Takemichi with this, right? And his nickname is the Cry Baby Hero, which is kind of a weird, nickname to be, because you're part of a gang and you want to strike fear into the gang. But imagine a character who just cries and cries a lot. That doesn't put any fear. That just makes me think I could just beat you up the worst way possible, which he really does get beat up in this series. Takemichi is the definition of a punching bag. He has literally no defense at all. He has no offense at all. He is just standing there, just getting punched and punched and punched by everybody. Legit, everyone has slugged Takemichi at least once in this series, and I get why people don't like his character because he's just a wussy. And I kind of use the excuse that he moved on from this life. He only had this life for a little bit while and he chose to run away. I get that, but when you purposely go back in the future to save somebody and you want to act like this hero that everyone wants, and then all of a sudden you're just getting beat up by every single person, I'm sorry, I will just dump you at that point. Because why am I going to have someone who just gets punched in the face more often? I will think, heck, they might not go after me after just beating you up. They might have took all their anger out on you, and I could just go scot-free. And I feel like Takemichi as a character could be cool, but he's just shown as like this weak person. And all he does is just cry and get beat up and cry. And that's really it. He gets this heroic win a few times and then he just cries and gets beat up the whole time. And like I said, I get he left this life behind, but goodness gracious, it's just annoying to see. It doesn't help that people are just there to keep saving him over and over and over again. Dude, you're the main character, bro. Why is it that everyone is saving you? The FC is supposed to come and save everybody else. And Takemichi as a character is just annoying to watch. He kind of has this like Deku Midoriya type character where everyone in the whole series is just more interesting than you, in my personal opinion. There are way more interesting people than Takemichi in this story. Mikey, Draken, everyone part of the Manji Gang is more interesting than Takemichi. If we had Mikey or Draken or anybody from the Manji Gang as the main character, I think this anime would have been really perfect. Because like I said, Takemichi doesn't seem like an interesting character that you would probably want to follow the whole story with. Because you have so many cool characters in this series that you just want to see more of. And sometimes I'll be forgetting that Takemichi is the main character because there's so many people that overshadow him in this series. and you kind of want to root for him. He's kind of like the underdog of the story, someone who's not as strong, as good as the other characters, but you kind of want to root for him. But I also want to root against him and want to see other people get their shine in the story. And since I'm on the topic of the story of this is basically like a race. Someone goes back in time to save someone from a tragic death. In this case, Takemichi goes back multiple times, and every time he thinks he got something good, someone ends up dying. And it's always his girlfriend and always his best friend. And it's gotta be really like heartbreaking to see that over and over again. As much as I railed on Takemichi not being an interesting character, you kind of can relate, because imagine being in that situation where you constantly seeing the death of the two people that you really, really care about. And every time you try to fix it, they end up dying in some horrible way. Either a car crashing into another car, or seeing your friend do something unspeakable by jumping off a building because he's so afraid of this one person. Basically living a nightmare over and over and over again, and you just have to endure it to see if you actually change the future, and you have to see it in the most brutal ways. And it's the fact that there's the two main people causing it. It's someone that you have the utmost respect for and has grown a good friendship with. And then you have someone who's so evil that makes your life a living hell at every point. But you basically have to tough it up and do it because there's a chance you could actually save someone's life in the process of going back in time and fixing it. And I'm going to be completely honest. If I had the choice, I would not go back in time to save her again. Because if she doesn't keep dying and I have to keep seeing that, I would just completely give up. It's basically the Mario version of the princess in the other castle. Every time you try to save her, she's in a different castle. At this point, she just dies different ways. And I just couldn't be able to see that. So I guess I could give Takemichi that. He is mentally able to do it. Even though he didn't want to give up in the beginning, he is mentally able to do it because he's doing it because he obviously loves her. As much as the story is basically kind of like a race, I kind of see like the cool factors, like, oh, you get a chance to see these cool fights and all this, and a lot of drama like a race. We get a chance to see people beat up each other a lot. Takemichi gets the worst end of the stick, but there's a lot of fighting in this series, like basically punches and just kicking other people's ass. And I guess that's the cool part of this series. You get a chance to see a whole bunch of fighting. And as much as I don't care about animation that much, I think the final battle is hilarious because the animation just goes all over the place. Basically like this like unrealistic way, like they're freaking fighting like Dragon Ball Z characters all of a sudden. It was freaking hilarious because Draken gets freaking kicked in the face and his legs go all the way up, and he just goes, after that he just goes back to just standing up. I'm like, okay. And the animation was kind of weird. But there's also another thing I wanted to talk about in this series that freaking blew my mind, and I hope everyone could agree this is probably the most hilarious thing in the whole show. So there's an episode where Baji and Kazutoro's ready to give Mikey a gift for his birthday. So they break into a biker shop. They give him a bike for his birthday, or motorcycle, whatever it was. That's all I remember. But they end up getting caught by this person. They don't really see who it is because it is really dark in there. And the person that caught them was Mikey's brother. So Baji obviously see that's his brother and obviously doesn't do anything. Kazutoro beats him over the head or hits him over the head with a pipe, killing him. After Baji explains to him that that's Mikey's brother, you essentially killed Mikey's brother, Kazutoro sits there and says, and this, I guess it was just like a panic thing because he basically just murdered somebody. Kazutoro says, I have to murder Mikey now. And when I saw that scene, I'm like, you killed his brother, so you're gonna go and kill him? I was just mind blown. Like, who thinks like that? Who thinks they have to kill somebody because they killed their cousin? Like, you're gonna murk his whole family because you killed somebody? And I get it. It was the heat of the moment. Well, actually, no, it's not even the heat of the moment. He thought that all the way through the war, their huge battle. But it was the most craziest thing. It actually made me laugh. And it's like, what made you think that when you murder somebody? You're like, you know what? I murdered his cousin. Now I have to murder him. I was like, what? It's like, what the heck are you on about? Anyway, that's the only thing I really want to say about Tokyo Revengers. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Comment below if you have watched Tokyo Revengers, or if you haven't. If you want to give an anime a try, they have 3 seasons. I'm currently on season 3. So yeah, see you guys later. Peace.